What is the difference between personal sadhana and karma yoga? Because sometimes it's like, uh, how do you say, tumpang tindih, overlapping with one another. And what is the difference between the two?
Sadhana means not only to seek. Normally, sadhak is translated as a seeker. But sadhana is not only seeking, but you're doing something. It's not just seeking. Seeking means I'm looking for the truth. But looking for the truth does not mean that you're doing something aggressively to discover that truth. Sadhana is doing something, putting some efforts. So sadhana is not just seeking, sadhana is not just asking, but sadhana is doing something to discover the truth. So sadhana cannot be related with or to anything else beside discovery of the truth. Now, truth has got many facets. We can find 1, 2, 3 facets. We cannot have all the facets of truth. But a sadhak is always looking for and working to find, to discover that truth within. That is sadhana. That is the effort put by a sadhak. Now what we are doing just now, we are singing bhajan, we do meditation, we do all kind of spiritual exercises. All these are personal sadhana. In personal sadhana, there is still something of a personal interest. That's why personal sadhana. So what we are doing, either our personal interest is to find peace or to experience joy, happiness, or anything else, something else. There are so many different types of people coming to this ashram or any ashram. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that there are people who come here for a momentary gain. Someone is sick and he wants to learn meditation, he wants to learn yoga to find some peace, some relief from his pain, from his suffering. That is also sadhana, that is also personal sadhana, but on a very lower level. And then somebody comes to discover truth, but this is all personal sadhana. So what we are doing, for instance, in our ashram, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, all these days, every day almost, we have got activities going on from morning till evening. All these are personal sadhana. These are not karma yoga. These are all personal sadhana. We are working for ourselves. There is little bit of a selfish motive. I am doing it for myself, and that is very important also. Personal sadhana is like laying a foundation before you build something. So if you don't have a strong foundation, you cannot build anything. Some people think that, okay, we have passed over that. We don't have to do all these things. The foundation is very important. In fact, the analogy should be like tending, caring for a plant. You sow the seeds and the plant is sprouting, but you don't just leave it like that. You still take care of the plant before the plant becomes a big tree, huge tree. When the plant becomes a huge tree, when the plant of our consciousness becomes a tree, then comes Karma Yoga. Then that tree can give shade to anything, anybody, any animal, any human being passing by. He, she will find shade, will enjoy the shade under the tree. So then comes Karma Yoga. What you are doing for others without any selfish motive. having laid the foundation through personal sadhana, then you start doing something for others without any selfish motive. My Guru used to remind us, even if you are expecting a word of thank you, thanks, it is no longer Karma Yoga. It is a business transaction. You do something, someone pays you with money. You do something, someone pays you with a note of gratitude, gratefulness. Or someone says thank you. Even that is a payment. Karma Yoga means not only you are not expecting any return, not only you are not expecting even a word of thanks, but whatever you do it as an offering to the Lord within, the Supreme Energy, whatever name you want to give to that Supreme Consciousness. So it's an offering. Karma Yoga is an offering. Personal sadhana is laying the foundation, and after that Karma Yoga. How do you do this? There was a boss and his employee, both of them were coming to ashram many years ago. And when I was talking about Karma Yoga, doing things without any personal motive, the boss was very happy. And he was reminding his employee to do something like that in the office. You cannot do Karma Yoga in the office. You are being paid. It's your job, it's your profession. You cannot do Karma Yoga in the office. So my master always reminded us, set aside at least 4 hours a week to do Karma Yoga. And if you cannot do it on the weekday, then turn your holiday, Sunday holiday, into holy day. Spend 4 hours every Sunday or Saturday. And that's the minimum. That's the minimum. He says, if you want to become my disciple, you have to do this. Otherwise, you are my friend. You can still come, no problem. We are friends. But if you want to be, or you want to rather call yourself as my disciple, then you have to spend at least 4 hours a week doing something for which you are not paid at all, for which you don't expect any payment, not even a word of thanks. So then we started going to orphanages, we started going to jails, prisons, prison service, orphanage, blood donation and all that, And then one day he told us, he said, look, if you are living in a country like India in those days, now India has changed. In those days, we had too many people who didn't have enough food, enough clothing, so even to give a blanket to someone would be a Karma Yoga. And what we were doing here, there was one of the programs was to serve Daridra Narayan, to revere the needy, the poor, those who have not had a meal, to revere them as God and to present them with a food package. So what we do, they were doing it in India, they were doing it in some African countries. We followed the rule. We followed it ditto. Made food packages, and we were going around. Now in Jakarta, even I'm talking about 1980s, even in Jakarta, to find 400, 500 poor people, we had to go around the whole city because not many people were begging, How to find? And then my Guru, he rebuked us. He said, look, you don't copy, don't become copycat. You try to find out what is required in your society. And there were some Westerners just like you. And some Westerners I remember, there were some Europeans. There was a European group. Said, in your countries, you cannot find poor people sometime. So what do? You go to old people's home, talk to them. Maybe just as a token, you bring some food package or you bring some milk or anything, but just as a token. Those elderly people in the old people's home, they have not talked to somebody for quite some time. Talk to them. Sit with them. I'm talking about an era where there was still no email and no WhatsApp and all those stuff. Write for them some letter if they want to write a letter to somebody. And then someone asks, Swami, we have been doing this, and I have been writing letters for one elderly woman, and she was expecting me to deliver this letter to her son, because the son was not responding to her letters. We would mail them, but no reply. And she requested me to go meet her son and to give the letter. And the son lived something like 150, 200 miles away from where this lady was staying. And she said, Swami, I went to meet her son, and the son would not even listen to me. He said, I have been paying, every month I am paying my dues, and they are taking care of my mother. I am busy doing this, doing that. What should I do? She sends me off to her son with a huge hope that I'll bring her some news. What do I do? So then my guru said, look, Karma Yoga means you are prepared to go to hell. Are you prepared to go to hell? So she was stunned. What is it about? Tell me first, are you prepared to go to hell? If yes, go and lie to her. Tell her that you met the son and the son was busy. Don't tell her that the son didn't want to see her. The son was busy and the son has written a letter. Write a letter in your own handwriting. Read it out to this elderly lady. Make her happy. Even if you have to go to hell for this lie, make her happy. That is Karma Yoga. So it is not only not expecting heaven, but even going to help one person, to bring a smile onto one pair of lips, if you have to go to hell. And then my Guru, he reminded us of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda said, I will forego, I will postpone my moksha, I will postpone my nirvana until the last stray dog on the street can enter the realm of nirvana, can attain to moksha. I will postpone my nirvana, my moksha, until that date. I'll keep on coming back again and again to serve the ailing humanity. This is Karma Yoga. And my master said, okay, you cannot do all those things, but at least 4 hours a week. If you cannot do more than that, go to some place, volunteer, help the elderlies, do something. That is Karma Yoga. And do not duplicate. Try to find. You have to reach out and you have to find where you are needed, where your service is most needed. Not just, 4 hours, I bring some food package, I just distribute, 4 hours, finish, done. No. You find out where you are needed, where you are required. That is Karma Yoga.
The thing you were explaining is mostly about serving the needy. So even though it's not like in India or Bangladesh and all those things, but like in Indonesia, like you were mentioning, it was not easy to find. Well, it's easy to find poor people, or in Europe, then you go to elderly homes. But then many people are already doing the things that, like going to old people's homes.
Exactly.
And then giving food, orphanage. So what else can be done? Like is like you said, you have to identify the needs of the country or
Country, the
the
society.
society.
Where,
If it's knowledge,
yes. So this is where his advice was finally we adopted that advice, because then we found out that school education is the number one need. Okay, we have got so many schools, but are our schools, our educational institutions, are they turning out, they are creating people who are humane or just degree holders? So he explained to us that nowadays a bachelor's degree holder, bachelor in education, BEd, it's not BEd but it is BAD. And master in education is not MEd, it is MAD. So go and do something about education. And now there are institutions all over the world where they are giving free education. We are having a school also, but we have not been able to give free education. But yes, that is at least the teachers in the school, they should be dedicated. They should be karma yogis. So it can be schooling, it can be education, it can be in the field of law. I've been writing about this. Law, education, and medicine. These are the three professions where actually state should take over. There should not be any fee to be paid to a doctor. State should take care of the doctor's fee. State should take care of the law. If somebody has got some problem, he cannot hire a lawyer. State has to hire free and quality lawyer. There should not be any fee for any lawyer. There should not be any fee for any doctor, not the patients, not the victims. And there should not be any fee, what was that? Education. For schooling. These three should be taken care by state. State has to pay to the doctors. State has to pay to the teachers. State has to pay to the lawyers, judges, police, as they pay to the police. They also have to pay to the lawyers, prosecution, everybody. And we were doing some calculation of the spending of any government, how much should be allocated for education, how much should be allocated for defense. The major chunk is going for defense. And major chunk going for defense, we have no necessity for atomic weapons and this and that. For last 30, 40 years, we have not been able to create a new antibiotic. We are not able to create a new antibiotic. We were talking with the doctors the other day. Said the state of affairs is such that all antibiotics that you're taking, antibiotics or antibiotic, whatever, all these antibiotics that you are taking, these are all poisonous because we have moved over. We don't need these antibiotics anymore, but we are still taking those antibiotics because there is no research. The pharmaceutical companies, they are more interested in selling supplements, because supplement you don't have to provide any research. You can sell any supplement, you don't provide any research, you don't provide anything. As long as you can promote them well, people buy any supplement. So that is Karma Yoga. What can we do in those fields? Whatever little you can do. You cannot change the policies, fine. But you can get together 10 families, 15 families, and try to do something, try to empower yourself.
If going to those campuses like we've been doing, is that
Yeah.
part of personal sadhana or karma yoga?
That is Karma Yoga. We are going to campus, we want to share something. If I don't have anything to share, if we have not done our personal sadhana, then we should not go to campus. We should not tell them anything. If we have done our personal sadhana and we have something to share, then only we go to campus. That's what we are doing now.